Hello and welcome to a review here at FiveJay Gaming. I'm FiveJay, and today I'm going to review for you Brawlout for Nintendo Switch. Now, some of you may not know what Brawlout is. Brawlout is an indie fighter much in the style of Super Smash Bros. So there's a lot of same fundamentals here. The goal is still to knock out your opponent from the stage. You're accumulating damage from the hits and they'll fly farther the more damage they have. You have special attacks and you have, well, they're probably not called smash attacks in Brawlout. I'm not quite sure what they're called. I'm sure they have a name. But similar deal. The A button and the B button are different types of attacks. And then you can modify those attacks by pairing the timing of the button press with direction on the stick. You also have dodges. You can still grab ledges. There are some differences. One being that grabs aren't universal. Only some characters are able to grab as part of their special moves or Brawlout move, smash move. You know what I mean. And then there are no shields. Nobody has a shield. So, all dodges. So, anyway, that's the basic premises. There's a lot of shared DNA there, obviously heavily inspired by Smash Brothers. So, is it any good? Is it worth your time? The pros of this game are several, and I do enjoy this game. So I do like the customization aspect of the game. You get to change things like your death explosion. There's different colors for your characters that you can unlock. I also like the rage system that's in here. This kind of replaces the Smash Ball, where you get the special ultimate attack in Smash Brothers. Actually, what is that even called? Smash attack? But that was the aim button moves. I don't remember. I always turn it off, you know. Gotta play for glory. For glory! So, whatever that's called, the rage system actually is the replacement for that. So, the rage system, basically, you build this meter as you're taking damage and as you're giving damage. So, you can use half of your rage meter to do an interrupt. So, if you're taking a lot of damage and somebody's got a great combo going on you, you can use half of your rage meter, and then you interrupt their attack, and then you can turn the tides on them, which is cool. Really cool. If you're getting beaten badly, oh yeah, it's amazing. And then if you use the full meter, it increases the power of your attacks. It's not a ridiculous, over-the-top, total tide-changing, one-hit kill type of stuff that you get in Smash Brothers. So it actually feels pretty natural to have that stuff in there and you don't feel the need to turn it off like you do in Smash Brothers if you're a for glory kind of player. I also like that there's combos in Brawlout. So every character has combos. At least one that I can tell so far. There might be more combos out there, but I like that fact that you can combine both A and B buttons to do a different type of attack that isn't available on either button individually. I also like the mastering system, so it rewards you for the more you play as a character that you like. The more you play, the more rewards you get. So I like that system as well, kind of. I don't know if I'd call it an RPG system, but it is a nice little, token they throw at you for saying, hey, you like this character? Here you go. There's a little reward for you. It's nice. A little touch, And I do like that they have an online system for playing with random folks or playing with your friends. And actually, one cool thing is that while you're waiting for your online mode to happen, you can actually play a local mode. So you can still be playing with your friends in the same room, or even alone against the computer while you're waiting for your online match to find somebody. Really nice little touch. So what are the downsides to this game? Well, for one, remember that online system? Yeah, actually, the functionality of it, there's a bit to be desired there. So the matches are slow. Like, really unbelievably slow. It's crazy. Now, I think the developers have talked about that, and there might just be more demand than they were prepared for. Could be. We'll see. Could be something they'll fix. However, I just tried this again today, and I had another problem where every time I tried to accept a match with an opponent, it would count down a timer for my opponent to accept the match, and every single time it counted down to 0. I must have done this a dozen times. And I don't think I found a dozen opponents that all just were AFK, although still in matchmaking. That would be strange. So it feels like another problem, but even when you get in the match, it's so slow. So there's a lot of work to be done on the online component of this game. Second is the generic looking stages. So they're boring, they're small, you only get a few from the start, so there's not a lot of variety for you. Eh, not a lot to enjoy there. They have different color schemes, but there's not a lot of variation on platforms and so forth. And like I said, there's just something very generic about the art. It doesn't, it doesn't have a lot of character to it. Which kind of brings me to my next point, that most of the characters aren't particularly charming. So their main mascot is Paco. He's this luchador, four-armed frog, and he's cool. I like Paco. He's a great character. The other characters, not feeling them. They could use a little tweaking. Actually, some of the most charming characters in the game are actually characters from other indie games. So, sort of a pro, they have some indie characters from um, Guacamelee and from Hyper Light Drifter. Cool. Downside, they are the best looking characters in there, aside from Paco. So, a little bit of work to do there on the design of both the stages and the characters, sadly. Another thing is the movement while you're fighting feels a little off. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a frame rate thing or just an animations thing or what, but something's a little bit off there. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I don't know. It's just not quite, it just needs some tweaking, a little tweaking. It'll get there. And last, the customization seems to be a little bit too heavily weighted towards like a microtransaction, sadly. So as you're playing these matches, you're earning this gold, which you then spend on these piñatas. And then the piñatas unlock all of these customization things, the different colors for your characters, new stages, those death animations, little thumbnails for you, all sorts of stuff. But it's slow going. Like, you got to play this game a lot to unlock all this stuff. It's not completely random. Well, it is. So when you open this piñata, it's random, but you don't get a repeat. So it's not your traditional loot box where you could get the same thing 50 times in a row. You're guaranteed something new every time, but the ones that have new characters are crazy expensive. You got to save up the special secondary, more rare currency to actually unlock the new characters. And then there's the middle level piñata is your normal gold, but it's kind of a lot of gold. And then there's this cheap one at the bottom, which is just like, it only has the thumbnails, for your player character. So it's just a little bit too expensive, and it seems to be aiming towards that microtransaction crowd, which is too bad. Like I said, it's not as shameless as those random loot boxes in most games, but it's not what you would want, I think. So, unfortunate. Overall, I'd give this game a 6 out of 10. It's a nice Smash Bros. Style fighting game. You will have fun playing with your friends, and it overcomes a lot of these issues to still end up being a competent fighting game. It is a fun experience. It's just there are some issues, and online is basically non-functional with those problems we've been having. So the good thing about this is that the price is right. This isn't a $60 game. I believe it's only a $10 game. It might be $15. Either way, it's not even close to one of those full-price games. So, for the package of what you get, I'd say 6 out of 10 is a solid number. I'd say it's a fun game. Go play with your friends. You'll have a good time. Just know what to expect when you get there. Thanks so much for watching this review. What did you think of Brawlout? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.